Okay, moving on now to agenda item number 13, adoption of the annual plan. This is very, very mechanical. It's what you've been working on for the last, what did we start in March, would it have been? And here it is, your annual plan, how it affects the district through to June the 31st next year.
Good afternoon, Your Worship, Councillors.
Good afternoon to Sue Maber, that's right. And Dennis.
We finished deliberations on the 21st of May, and essentially what we've done now is we've put the changes from those deliberations into the document to create a final annual plan. Attached to my report is a strike through just showing the pages where the changes are. If it's all right with you, I'd quite like to go through those pages quickly. Yep. So if you turn to page 13.3 in the agenda, it'll be on the right page, and you see right on the front cover, obviously we've struck out draft. There's a few little changes in the table of contents in page 3, because we've added at the back of the document a summary of changes that we've made through the process. Then if you turn to page 13 bar 8 and 13 bar 7 and 13 bar 8, you'll see the message from the Mayor and Councillors and the message from the Chief Executive. There's some minor changes there where we take out the words draft and change proposed to approved. So essentially the message hasn't changed, just updating it from being in the draft document. Next page, the statement of compliance. 13 bar 9, same thing, just updating the date for the date of adoption. Page 13 bar 10. Now this page has changed a little bit because we've added some new projects. So you'll see we've got a new section in there, democracy and planning. We've added the pre-consultation for the development of the reserve management plan for the reserves in the South Western Bay settlements area and the review of the tree and vegetation policy. You'll also see under projects that Council has delayed or removed that we've taken out the projects for the new cell at the Broadlands landfill because that's already been completed. You'll see also that under business as usual services, the 5th bullet point down, we've updated that because the funding from central government has come through, so that's just an update. You'll also see on the next page, 13 bar 11, the text on lakes, rivers and mountains has been updated, again in accordance with the funding being received from central government. Page 13 bar 12, which is the community facilities activity. We've just added a cross-reference under what we plan for 2013-2014 to show that some of the projects that some people might think sit under community facilities actually in this plan are sitting under democracy and planning, and so to refer them to page 50. So that's for the review of the tree and vegetation policy and the reserve management plan for southern.
What would you like to do?
Page 13 bar 3 in solid waste, you'll see we've taken out the under what we plan for 2013-2014 the project for the new cell at Broadlands. As I've said before, it's already been completed. And we've just added in for clarity under the next project there that if necessary Council will cap the cell at Broadlands Road landfill because that wasn't clear. The next page, 13 bar 14, is actually another mistake that is not outlined on this page. We're looking at how we fund solid waste services, and you'll see refuse collection says here that it's funded 100% by general rate and 100% by fees and charges, which of course is not possible. So there's a mistake there, and the general rate one needs to come out, so it's funded by fees and charges. And also you'll see the mistake that has been picked up on the next line, recycling collection is funded by 100% by targeted rate, and the 75% uniform charge was mistaken, so that's reduced. 13 bar 15, democracy and planning. Essentially we've added those two new projects, the reserve management plan and the review of the tree and vegetation policy, to what we plan for 2013-2014. And what's different from the LTP, they're also included in that section. And you'll see there was a text box in the draft annual plan that talked about the long-term plan, 2015, and some plan changes, and we've just updated the text on that because things have changed just a little bit, or moved on just a little bit. 13/16, you'll see there's a whole section of a table on transport capital expenditure that's been removed. Don't worry, it's not nearly as dramatic as it looks. It just happened that we've repeated that table twice. So if you go back to the draft annual plan, you'll see it was just an error. And then in the fees and charges, page 13/17, right through to 13/26. All we've done, you'll remember in the draft annual plan, was a lot of strike through, and all we've done to show the comparison between the fees and charges in the last financial, or the current one that we're in at the moment, and the 13/14 year, just to show the differences. We've just taken those strike throughs out, and so now all it does is show the fees and charges for 2013 2014. So that's all that is. So that, at the end of the fees and charges, page 13/27, you'll see we've added some text, and this is what we normally do, just to put in the back of the final annual plan to show what the changes were between the draft and the final version. So that's just a summary showing what those changes are. And obviously then 13/28 and 29 is the removal of the submission form, because we don't need that anymore. It's a final document. Now there have also been some minor page numbering and formatting changes in the final document, but generally it will look very similar. We'll have the same cover, etc., etc. There have also been some changes in the finance section of the annual plan, because of course we awarded some additional funding through the deliberations process, and I'll just let Mr. Ward walk you through some of those.
Afternoon, councillors. Yeah, fortunately this year was quite simple for us in terms of the financial changes. You put an extra $60,000 into the budget for the grants, which is stated on 13/27. Effectively, that just flows through the cost of service statements for that, and affects basically your financial element statements, being your income statement. And that. So we've just flowed all that through. We've recast a little bit of interest cost to balance it out to keep the rates at the 4.4 is where we went out with the draft annual plan. So the key number being the 4.4 average rate increase stays the same, and we've just made the adjustments accordingly for those additional grants.
Been a long 3 or 4 months, but Neil Ward and Sue Maver, congratulations, and to the rest of the team, congratulations on the savings that have already been identified, and of course getting the projected rate almost halved down to where we are. So it has been a lot of hard work for you as management and us as governance. So I'll just ask now that we get a mover and a seconder for the resolutions to adopt the annual plan, the funding impact statement, and the schedule of fees and charges for 2013 to 2014. And we have Councillor Kirk and Councillor Crate. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? A deafening silence.
I wish I have to be pedantic and vote against number 3 of the resolution.
Yeah, I understand why. Yes, refer to fees and charges. Okay, so if you could just perhaps, how would we do that with a resolution? Can you vote against one part of the resolution? That's the problem, isn't it? Oh, of course it's not.
Oh, no. Yeah, I beg
no.
I beg your pardon. Sorry.
No, it's all in favour. Aye. So, Mr. Ward, are you doing setting of rates for 2013-14?
Yes, yeah, I believe I am.
Excellent. Hope everybody on webcam's watching.
Excellent.
Not guilty.
Yeah, well, I suppose this is probably one of the reasonably important resolutions for the year. Otherwise, we can't collect any money legally, which would be a bit of a problem, really. Okay, so this item is as it says, enables council to set the rates for the 13-14 year in accordance with Section 23 of the Local Government Rating Act. Now, I just need to make one minor change to the suggested resolution. It's a technical change, but it's quite an important one. That pursuant to, and we insert the words Section 23 of the Local Government Rating Act. You just need to make that insertion there, please. And then the rest of it can be as read. And that is obviously both on the, if you like, front, well, yeah, it's just in the suggested resolution. If we can add those words, then that will make our revenue manager a lot more comfortable. Yes, sorry, and that the schedule of rates on 14-3 through to 14-6 must be included as a schedule to the minute, so must form part of the minute.
GST inclusive. Right. And then we have a suggested resolution. Would you have any questions? Okay, there's a suggested resolution on page 14 that pursuant to the Local Government Rating Act 2002, the Taupo District Council hereby sets the rates and charges as described in the Schedule of Rates 2013-14 attached for the period commencing on 1 July 2013 and ending on 30th of June 2014 in accordance with the Council's long-term plan 2012-22 and the annual plan 2013-14, including the funding impact statement. Is there a mover? Move, Councillor Williams. Seconder, please. Councillor Johnson. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? Thank you. Moved. I think we'll break now for, what have we got to get through?